knee hugs, or scullers. Have the athlete come up into full sit-up position, hands out, knees close to the chest, and begin the exercise. They extend the knees out while coming down into a bottom of a sit-up position, and bring the upper body and knees together. Physio ball sit-up. This exercise is performed just like the physio ball crunch, but a full sit-up is done on the physio ball. Again, instruct the athlete to come down to the crunch position, form a full sit-up. Hands on the ears. Other variations, the arms crossed in front of the body. Tempo is very good at this exercise as well. The 3 count up, 3, 2, 1, down. Weight can also be used in this exercise. Just like in the crunch, you hold the weight chest, all the way down, all the way up. What's good about using the physio ball is it allows the athlete to really get a good stretch of the abdominals. Really work through the range of motion while supporting the lower back. Physio ball V-up. During this exercise, instruct the athlete to come behind the physio ball on their knees, roll out into a push-up position, supporting the knees, and instruct the athlete to lift the hips as high as possible. Really focus the movement again in the abdominals. Lift the hips as high as possible, pause at the top, and then back down. It's also important that the athlete does not hyperextend the lower back as they come down in the bottom position. Physio ball knee-ups. Just like the physio ball V-up, instruct the athlete to come behind the physio ball, roll out on the physio ball in the push-up position, supporting the shins. Instruct the athlete to pull the knees in as far as possible, and then back out. It's important to try to keep the hips down as low as possible, really contract the abs, and pull the knees into the chest. A variation of this exercise can be done, a more advanced exercise, by lifting a leg and pulling the knee into the chest. What you do to one side should do to the other. Roman chair sit-ups. Instruct the athlete to sit on the Roman chair. Make sure that they can brace their feet, hands crossed in front of them, extend down and back up. Focus the movement in the abdominals. It's important that the athlete does not go too far down. The upper body should just come parallel with the ground. Other variations might be where the athlete has fingertips on the ears, as well as twisting, alternating from side to side. Weight can also be used for this exercise. Instruct the athlete to hold the weight in front of their chest, perform the same movement as the sit-up. Another variation of the exercise, the athlete can move one foot out from the support. This obviously makes the exercise a little more difficult, a little unbalanced. This is a much more advanced exercise. Lying leg lifts. Instruct the athlete to lie down and anchor their hands. Legs should be completely extended. The movement of the exercise is raise the feet as high as possible. Control the movement as it comes up and goes down. The feet should come to about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. Variations of this exercise can be incorporated with a medicine ball. Place a medicine ball between the athlete's feet and have him conduct the exercise. This obviously is a more advanced exercise with resistance. Alternating hanging knee up. This is a variation of the knee up. Again, using the same apparatus to hang from, the athlete will alternate by pulling one knee up and the opposite knee. You cycle through for the desired number of repetitions. Physio ball back extension. Have the athlete roll out on the physio ball just like in the physio ball V-up. With this exercise, the athlete will need to be supported by another athlete to make sure that the hips are in the center of the ball. Cross the arms in front of the body. Perform the exercise by rolling down, good roll in the back and up. Make sure that you do not hyperextend the lower back. Really focus the movement in the lower back. Variations of this exercise can be done with fingertips on the ears, as well as performing a twist at the top of the movement. Weight can also be used with this exercise. Handing weight to the athlete and have them put the weight behind the head or on the upper back. During this exercise, if you do not have another athlete to assist, pushing your feet against the wall will help to anchor your feet into the wall so you do not roll off the physio ball. Weighted back extensions on a Roman chair. The exercise is done exactly like the back extension, but with weight. The athlete will take the weight, cradle in the chest, raise to a parallel position, and back down. Weight can be put behind the head and done in this fashion as well. Just be careful not to load the weight too much in the back. Could put pressure on the neck. Russian twist on a Roman chair. Instruct the athlete to sit on the Roman chair. Again, just like doing the sit-up, make sure the feet are supported. Hips are just back off the end of the bench. Make sure fingertips are on the ears. They're going to come down to about a 45-degree angle. Hold that position and rotate from side to side. This is a good rotational exercise. Good stability with rotation. You can make this exercise a little more difficult by instructing the athlete to come a little bit further down, parallel with the ground, and twist. Good controlled movement. Have the athlete sit on a physio ball while holding a plate. They'll hold the plate like a steering wheel and rotate from side to side. Again, this is a very good rotational exercise, but incorporates a bit of balance. Other variations of this exercise might be lifting a foot off the ground while doing the exercise. Medicine ball trunk twist throw. Just like the plate trunk twist, the athlete will twist, but you will incorporate a medicine ball throw during this exercise. Stand to the side, you'll toss the medicine ball, the athlete will twist and throw it back. Good rotation is critical during this exercise. What you do to one side, you should do to the other. Physio ball, Russian twist with a medicine ball throw. Have the athlete sit on the physio ball, but also have a second athlete anchor their feet by either standing on their feet or holding it with their hands. As they come down into the Russian twist start position, you'll throw a medicine ball and they'll toss it back. Emphasize rotation of the trunk. Excellent. What you do to one side should be done to the other. As the athlete comes down, toss the ball, you rotate, use the momentum to throw the ball back. Leg lift with a twist. Have the athlete perform a leg lift and then add a twist at the top of that movement. They perform the leg lift with the twist on either side and back down to the start. Variation of the seated Russian twist can be used with the medicine ball. Again, the athlete will perform the seated Russian twist, but then you will throw them the medicine ball. Feet off the ground, toss the ball, they will rotate and toss back. You can toss the ball to the side, toss it high,
above my head.
That's good.
Sorry.
Knee up with a twist. Have the athlete perform a knee up and then add a knee twist to that exercise. Push-up stabilization. Instruct the athlete to go into a push-up position. The critical aspect of this exercise is to make sure that the athlete maintains a good flat back. Some key things that you can tell the athletes is to make sure that they contract the abdominals and push the belly button through the spine. This is critical for the exercise. This really works on good stabilization of the core. Some other good aspects of this exercise is the stabilization of the shoulder girdle. During this exercise, the athlete will actually not move. This is an isometric and should be done for a certain amount of time. Variations of this exercise can be incorporated by lifting one foot off the ground and holding that position, while trying to also maintain a good flat back. You should alternate those legs by dropping the leg back down and lifting the opposite leg. Push-up stabilization using the medicine ball. During this exercise, the athlete will perform the push-up stabilization, but then put their feet on a medicine ball. This adds instability to the exercise, creates the exercise as a balance. Again, good flat back is critical for this exercise, making sure that the abdominals are contracted and the belly button is pushing through back towards the spine. Stabilization while resting on elbows and toes. Instruct the athlete to come out into a push-up position and then move to the elbows, resting the weight, the upper body, on the elbows. Again, a critical aspect of this exercise is to make sure the back is good and flat. Emphasize contracting the abdominals and pushing the belly button through the spine. Just like in the push-up variation of the stabilization, legs can be lifted during this exercise. Hold that position for a desired amount of time and alternate. This is a great exercise that emphasizes stabilization of the core. Again, the critical aspect of this is to make sure a good flat back is created. Stabilization on elbows and toes with the medicine ball. Just like in the push-up stabilization with the medicine ball, the athlete will perform elbows and toes stabilization, a good flat back. Now we'll move to putting their feet on the medicine ball. Again, this adds instability to the exercise and creates a balance exercise. Really emphasize a good flat back. Roller abdominals stabilization. The athletes will rest on their knees using a bar with 2 plates that you can find from any weight room. Have the athlete hold on to the bar with a good flat back, extend out by rolling the plate in front of them and pulling backwards. Emphasize good controlled movement with a good flat back. As they advance in this exercise, you can instruct them to push the weight out as far as possible. Push-up stabilization with the physio ball. Instruct the athlete to roll out onto the physio ball into a push-up position. The ankles and feet should be supported in this exercise. This is an isometric exercise and should be done for a desired amount of time. During this exercise, it's important that the athlete maintains a good flat back. This is the key to the exercise. Contraction of the abdominals with the belly button pushing through the spine is critical. During this exercise, many variations can be used. A more advanced exercise might be to lift the foot off the physio ball. Alternate to both sides and hold for anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds. Another variation might be to pull a knee into the chest while leaving the physio ball. It is critical to make sure that the back continues to stay flat. As they get fatigued, you'll start to see more and more hyperextension of the lower back. Physio ball bridge, the supine position. Instruct the athlete to sit on the physio ball and roll out into a bridge where the upper back is supported. During this exercise, anterior tilt of the pelvis is critical. Start with a normal position. Now, what you want to instruct the athlete to do is to take the belly button and push it through the lower back. This, you should be able to feel a contraction of the abdominals and really flatten the lower back. Variations of this exercise can be incorporated by raising knees up and alternating that. This adds instability to the exercise, forces the athlete to focus on controlling the movement. Continue to watch and make sure they are pushing their belly button through or contracting the abs. Other variations might be to extend the knee, as well as extend the knee and hold that position for a period of time. Hanging knee up hold. This is a stabilization exercise, a variation of the knee up, hanging knee ups. Instruct the athlete to bring the thighs parallel with the ground and hold the position for a desired amount of time. A variation of the hanging knee up hold is the hanging alternating knee up hold. Exercises performed just like the hanging knee up hold, but with just one leg. Athlete will hold it for amount of time and then switch. This is a great exercise that will help for stabilization of the abdominals as well as the hip flexors. Four-way trunk. During this exercise, we'll conduct both a stabilization as well as a dynamic motion. First exercise, the athlete will do a back extension. For the stabilization portion of the exercise, the athlete will hold the back extension position. The next exercise, the athlete will come up and do a sit-up on the Roman chair. Again, holding the stabilization. And now move to the side crunch. It's critical that the top leg is in front of the body. This helps the athlete maintain that good side position, get a good stretch, and crunch up. For the holding portion of the exercise, they will hold in a parallel position with the ground. What you do on one side must do on the other. Again, emphasize good flexibility in the bottom, good stretch, crunch up, and hold it for the stabilization portion of the exercise.